Hi and welcome back to Sweets and Beyond. My name is Ida and today I have a special treat for you guys. It's the most highly requested recipe ever. And since the holidays are coming up, I decided that I'm going to show you how to make my version of pernil. Here are the ingredients. So here I have the star of the dish. It's a 7.5 pound pork shoulder, or pernil as we call it, 7.5 pounds. So to marinate it, we're going to be using 7 teaspoons of salt. So it equals 1 teaspoon per 1 pound of the meat. Here I have 2 teaspoons of cumin, about 12 garlic cloves, a teaspoon of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of white vinegar, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 teaspoons of oregano, and some adobo goya. Let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to do the marinade. Here I have 12 cloves of garlic. The rest of the cloves are reserved, and I'm going to show you what I do with them. I'm going to add everything except the adobo we're going to add. So the olive oil, the vinegar, the 7 teaspoons of the salt, the 2 teaspoons of oregano, and the teaspoon of cumin. Oh, and of course the pepper. So we're going to just, let me tidy up a bit. Wait, I have more oil here. So this is what we're going to use as the marinade. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to zhuzh it. It's a new phrase, zhuzh it. And we're going to make like a little paste out of it, see? Okay, so here's the marinade that we made. Look how beautiful this looks. And if you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a little food processor or even a blender to make this, because it only takes a couple of minutes. So now onto the pork. What I like to do is, after I rinse and I patted it dry, I like to take my knife and I like to separate the whole skin from the meat. You see how it goes? So this way, it'll be like self-basting, because all this fat will run down and will season your pernil. So remember to do that. Cut it all the way through. It's very easy. You start in a corner and you go with one hand pulling and with one hand going like this, and it very easy to do. So now for the marinade, we're going to flip this guy over, and you don't have to oh, I can show you here. See, you just pull and see how it goes separating. It's very easy to do. So we don't have to separate this part, because this part is going on the bottom of our baking dish. So what we do is, with our knife, we are going to cut in a star pattern or X, making sure that you have a nice hole. And then you're going to take your marinade and you're going to push it in there. And remember those extra cloves that we have? I like to push them in there too. So this way when you cut it, it'll be nice and beautiful. I don't like to add sofrito. I don't like to add the sazon, because I like the taste of the pork. I don't want anything else. So you just go, I don't want to say stab, but you go cutting holes into your pernil and putting the marinade in and alternating. You don't have to use a lot of garlic cloves, just 1 or 2. So we'll be back when I'm done with this. Okay, I just flipped it and I did the same. Look, see the holes? I did the same thing on the other side. So now with the leftover marinade, I'm just gonna rub even the skin, the fat side. We're just gonna give it a little rub down. And the rest of the marinade, we're just going to rub it on. And I like to put a little bit, not much, of the adobo goya only on top of, excuse my hands, just a little, because I like to draw the moisture out of the skin, so this way you will have a crunchier skin, but only here on top. See, just like that. And you can hear it as I'm rubbing it, how it sounds. So okay, so now this I'm going to tightly wrap up in plastic wrap, and I'm going to put it in the fridge overnight, but up to 2 days is fine. Just remember, if you leave it more than 1 day, just remember to flip it so it'll be nice and seasoned on both sides. So I will see you guys tomorrow, but in fact it will be a blink of an eye for you. Okay, so now it's the next day, and this is how my pork, the pernil, looks. It's been marinating about 10 hours. See, look how beautiful it looks now. So I like to cook it in an oven bag. This is how the oven bag looks, and I just follow the instructions on the package. So the instructions always say you open the oven bag and you pour a little flour in it. I think it says a tablespoon. I don't know why, but it works. So we just shake it around, making sure all the flour gets in the bag. And then I dump the flour onto my baking tray, just for it not to stick. I know it doesn't, but so now that you have your oven bag, make sure you get all the flour out. We are going to, I like to, before I put it into the oven, just sprinkle a little bit more of adobo, just to make sure everything is nice and crunchy. Just a little. It's a little sprinkling on the top. So now we're going to place it, and the liquid that came off of the pork, you leave it in there. We don't use that. So we're going to put it in the bag. And I like to put it with the thinnest part, towards the opening of the bag. And this is the exact same way. The oven bag says preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And it comes with a little tie that you use. Make sure your skin, and just try to center it. So this part is to the back of the oven. So this way, this skin, trust me, will get nice and crispy. So now we're going to tie it real nice and tight, using, of course, what's provided in the oven bag. And we're going to cook it for 3 hours at 350 degrees. The oven rack has to be not at the bottom, but close to the bottom, because this bag will puff up. And if it's too close to the top, it'll burn. So make sure that you have enough space. So we'll be back when this is cooked. Okay, so after 3.5 hours, here you have it, my pernil. And the oven bag works wonders. Here, hear that? That's, some people call it chicharrón. Where I'm from, we call it cuerito. See, I already cut it off so you can see the beautiful meat that's inside. Look how nice. And it's still, it smells unbelievable. And remember, it doesn't have to be complicated. Simple is the best. This way you can enjoy the flavor of the pernil without the sofrito, without all that added stuff, especially the additives of the sazon. You get a nice, beautiful pernil. And I have to cut it so you can see. I know you guys are drooling. See, look at that. How beautiful this looks. And this is where we poke the holes in it. And you know I'm gonna have this piece right here. Look at that. So guys, remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And after this, there's going to be a little box that says subscribe. Click on that if you haven't subscribed. Buen Provecho. I don't know why I wait so long to eat pernil. It's so good. Look at that. Try it.